soul off and get your head right.
I'm back, man. I mean it this time. I'm like, what was that that movie like Creep Show? You can't kill. You can't. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride. No. What's up, y'all? Thanks you guys for bearing with me as we try to muscle our way through this this broadcast as I try to like sneak in through the back door of YouTube. You know, you've been trying to keep me out. And admittedly, some of it's my fault because my own technology, my own technological ineptness, is that a word? Ineptness? Sure. Why not? Keeps me out too. Hey. I could take responsibility. I could man up and say where I've done some things wrong, man, and may not have kept up with the times, with the technology and all that sort of stuff. But there's
chip clip on your computer.
Yeah, things like which I even broke. I even broke my chip clip. Where my chip clip at? It's somewhere around here, and I broke that, man. I'm just clumsy, man. I just be breaking things. That's why I gotta be, that's why I gotta be on a set of drums, man, that can handle, just me going in and just being clumsy on those, just coming out with my clumsy beats. So anyway, y'all, so we was talking about, again, I'm already tired of this dude. Honestly, I don't even think I've heard of this cat Bowman until today. And I'm already sick of him. Not because of anything that he did, but I had to say his name, man. Like I've done 3 different takes on this dude and I keep messing him up. I'm tired of him, man. You bad luck for me. You bad juju for me, for Bowman. You bad juju for the country. Right, you just bad, right? It's like, my first, hopefully, which I was hoping to be my successful sneak into the back door of YouTube, has been thwarted by Bowman. He's bad juju, man, and that's of course he's bad juju, man. He's hanging out with the squad. I know he tucks it. Anyway, you have to. If you're gonna hang out with us, Bowman, you have to tuck it. You have to tuck it. It's well, fine, okay, I didn't. Right. Anyway, so Bowman predicts that we're going to be in a civil war. And as I've mentioned before, it's like, dude, you late. We already in a civil war. And Democrats, you know that we're in a civil war. All right, you already know this. Democrats, this guy is saying basically that if Republicans, I know it's hard to tell the difference nowadays. I get it mixed up too. But if Republicans get their way and they take these seats, that they're going to feel emboldened. And it's like, dude, you guys accuse us of being these right-wing extremists who are against the government, want to overthrow the government. But we're waiting for the government to be exactly how we want it to be before we go to overthrow it. You just wait. We right-wing extremist militia types, when we get the politicians that we want in office, then we're going to come and overthrow the government and we're going to have a civil war. What? That doesn't make any sense. All right, so it's you Democrats. Okay, it's you Democrats who don't wait and you go around terrorizing people when you don't get what it is that you want. That's y'all. Right, from the KKK to Antifa to BLM to the left-wing assassins that you guys have had, to the mobs, the lynch mobs that you guys have always done. That's always been y'all, you Democrats, and you guys are projecting your evils onto other people. And you're master manipulators. All right. So the thing is, the closest, man, I think the closest that the Republicans have ever had to like a terrorist, because that's what they accuse us of being. I think the closest we ever got to that was John Brown. All right, and that was at the founding of the Republican Party. All right, you had John Brown, and it's kind of hard to even say that he was a terrorist. He was more like a retributionist, if you will. I'm not saying that what he did was right per se, because hey man, we got this thing called due process. You can't be out there, having your lynch mob going out there that you're calling a militia and going out there and killing people without due process. However, the thing, and like I said, I'm not trying to excuse because even Frederick Douglass, I think was like, hey man, that's a little extreme, bro. It's like, and Frederick Douglass was the kind of guy who was telling Lincoln, hey, Lincoln, look here, man, if they kill one of ours, they capture one of ours, you hang 3. And Lincoln was like, man, I can't do that. I can't do that, bro. I can't do that. Right? But John Brown, as militant as Frederick Douglass was, John Brown was too militant for Frederick Douglass. All right. But here's the thing for those who out there who think that the war wasn't, and unfortunately got a lot of Republicans thinking this nonsense too, that the war wasn't about slavery. You look at Democrats today and look how they want to oppress people and how they want to benefit off the backs of other people. And they want to benefit off the fruits of somebody else's labor. And you tell me that them Democrats back then wasn't going to war over slavery. Oh, you can see the slavery when it comes to you, but you couldn't see what the Democrats are doing back then. I'm sorry that y'all can't make the connection. And that's why Trump lost the White House, because y'all don't make the connection. You got too gaslit by Democrats, and Democrats have flipped the script and you got caught up in it. But John Brown, where he was at was the Union soldiers, they marched to the tune of John Brown. They knew who John Brown was. John Brown was extreme, right? He's lauded today as being a radical. The Republican Party was founded by radical abolitionists. I wouldn't say that John Brown was a radical. Probably started there, but he went overboard. That's not real radicalism. The one true radical is the Lord himself. Those who follow in the Lord's way, we are his radicals. Because the word radical itself means root, stable, grounded. All right. These Democrats, the Republicans be calling radicals. Do they look stable and grounded to you? OK, Frederick Douglass, radical. All right. A radical stays rational. Right. A radical stays rooted to what squares up with the word of God, the one true radical. OK, John Brown's kind of strayed from that, and now the thing is, John Brown, Lincoln was like, look, you deny a person's God-given rights to them, I'll deny them to you. But still, Abraham Lincoln still followed certain protocols. You know what I'm saying? So people like come after Lincoln like, oh, Lincoln was a northern aggressor. And it's like, oh, you got the Democrats suckering you into singing that victim song. See, Democrats, they get what they want by crying victim. They did the same thing back then. They were the victims. It didn't matter who they were victimizing. Democrats are always the victim. And Lincoln said, yeah, I ain't playing that. Here we come. OK, and the Union soldiers celebrated people like John Brown because John Brown had a clear objective. I am going to war against slavery. I am committed. Right. And the Union, so when people try to say that it wasn't about slavery, according to the Union soldiers, yes, it was. According to Lincoln, yes, it was. Just Lincoln, like I said, he followed protocols. He was going to go by the rule of law. And even where Lincoln was, look, you deny somebody's God's given rights to them, I will deny them to you. But Lincoln was still going to do it by due process and still do it constitutionally. Right. And the Constitution itself is basically saying, look, you rebel against the Constitution. You announce your rebellion against the Constitution. Yes, habeas corpus will be denied to you. Don't expect these constitutional rights when you rebel against the Constitution. These people were boasting in their rebellion against the Constitution. They stated it themselves. So if you're going to be in court and you're going to incriminate yourself as a rebel against the Constitution, yes, habeas corpus is going to be denied to you. Now, John Brown, on the other hand, was like, OK, yeah, that's all well and good. But you know what? I ain't waiting for a date, a polite date on the battlefield with these Democrats. I'm going to go meet them right now. I'm going to go take out some right now. That's where John Brown was. Because John Brown knew that these Democrats, yes, were denying liberty to other people and in a lot of cases denying them their lives. So like I said, John Brown wasn't so much a terrorist. He was a retributionist. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is the course that we should take like somebody like John Brown. Right. I'm not confirming nor denying or affirming, I should say, his actions. But I understand that these Democrats, if they are boasting in their denial of rights to somebody else, then, and it's like, is help on the way or not? Are these people going to get the message or not? And now the reason why I say that, y'all, like with John Brown, and forgive me if I sound vague about it, where John Brown is concerned, is because of the question, are we in a civil war? And one more note about John Brown, and this is another reason why Democrats succeed. You know, there are a lot of Republicans voters out there, they don't even know who John Brown is. They don't know who he is. More Democrats know who John Brown is than Republicans do. That's a shame. John Brown is like a legend, right? You got the book written about him was the Good Lord Bird, a book written about him, and the Democrats made a TV series about him, about John Brown. Had Ethan Hawke playing him and stuff like that, A-list actor. Democrats took control of that narrative. They're always telling the stories that we should be telling, and they get out there and they promote that in the culture. That's why I keep saying Republican voters have no cultural groundwork, none. And they think that if they just get seats, how long are we gonna play this? You think that when you get a majority in the House and Senate, you think that things are gonna change? No, they're not. They get worse. They get worse because y'all think, too many Republican voters think that, oh, it's official. Our worldview is official. We've got representation. No, you don't. You got political representation, which is totally unstable. It's not sustainable unless you have cultural representation, which too many Republican voters do not support the pursuit of. They just don't, right? So when you got people like, you got these Democrats making these stories and making these narratives, you know, what are you going to do? That's how people, they absorb things like that. A lot of people, too many people, right? Not everybody, but too many, particularly Democrats, you know, and then they get out there and they lay that cultural groundwork, you know, and that stuff goes into the policies that we end up being ruled by. So, and all that to say, Republicans, we're in a civil war. What are you waiting for? What you think it's going to take your guns to fight back against these people? That's a losing battle. That's lost. All these things, this boasting in the Second Amendment and your gun rights has not stopped what's happening. I've been trying to tell you. When are you going to bust out your guns? When they come to take them, you going to use your guns to defend your guns? We get robbed already. You know that, right? Where your guns at? They're not going to help you in this. You keep saying that the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. And I've been trying to tell you the First Amendment has been used to erode the Second. And the First Amendment has been used to take everything else. The country has effectively been taken away from you. You understand that, right? And y'all, the reason why I say this, because I see people like this. I saw in response to this person, and this person calls themselves Obama's knee dummy. And he says the Republican part, let me see. No. Okay, hold up. He says, Civil War, eh? And he says, bring it on, Democrats. We are ready. You ready? Really? Then how the crap is Joe Biden president? How did this, as you let Republicans say, he's this mentally challenged, senile old man who got past you, the one boasting in his readiness. What are you waiting for? You say you're ready, willing, and able, right? And we will fight you with zeal of patriot defending his nation, his Constitution. The Constitution is being used as toilet paper right now, dude. His values, his culture, his society, and we will prevail as we have done in the past, right? We will teach you a lesson about American exceptionalism. What lesson are you going to teach them? You know they run the school systems, right? The ones doing all the teaching is Democrats. And they teach in the elementary schools. They're teaching in the high schools. They're teaching in the institutions of higher learning. They're teaching over the radios. They're teaching over the internet. They're teaching through your TV. You are sending your kids to them right now to be taught by them. You ready? I tried to tell you, it's like, look, man, am I pro-Second Amendment? Heck yeah, I am. I ain't about anybody trying to come in and take our guns, but I'm trying to tell you, this is not a fight. This hasn't been a fight that you can win that way. The Democrats have come up with a whole new strategy. It's a whole different strategy that your guns are not protecting you from right now. What kind of civil war are you waiting for? People are dying. People are being murdered. People are being killed. A war has been waged against our country a while back. Where you been? How about January 6th? A gun was busted out back then and shot one of ours. Where were we now for this guy Bowman, who's talking about we're going to start a civil war? If anything was going to start a civil war, if you want to say it's going to be a civil war, it would have been that. But did we come back with bazookas and AKs and ARs and flamethrowers and tanks and all that sort of stuff to come back to retaliate against you? No. So why are you trying to provoke? Of course, I know why. It's a rhetorical question. Why are you trying to portray us as terrorists, insurrectionists, rioters, whatever you want to call us? We haven't done any of that. That's y'all. That's y'all doing that all day. It's always been y'all and projecting that onto us. So, these things, y'all, it's laughable, right? It's just laughable. Just I guess the only word that can come to mind, that these people want to sit there and try to say that we're going to start a civil war. Like I said, one, it hasn't been us. It's always been y'all. And two, we're already in it. But see, Democrats, they already know, and trying to drag us into this worldview, that this collectivist worldview, and people are feeling the pain of it. And Republicans get excited because they think that people are turning against Joe Biden. Dude, they did the same thing. Oh my goodness. They did the same thing with Obama. Yeah, we got 2 years of Obama. Shouldn't have. Right? I told from the very first mentioning of him running for president, I said, look, conservatives, Democrats are going to use Obama, and they're going to discredit you as racist, and they're going to pump all their socialist policies through him. And if you challenge that, you're going to be seen as racist. The only way that can work if Republicans aren't actually racist. It's the only way it can work, because Republicans are going to get defensive about it. Democrats know this. Y'all, they read Republicans really good. They're master manipulators. Okay, and Republicans are constantly being herded by them. They don't want to admit it, but they are. All right? And Democrats knew how Republicans would respond to this. And Republicans can only respond blankly if they're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Republicans don't sit back and think about, I'm not saying that they should. It's not like they should. Because it's like, dude, we're just trying to live our lives, man. We ain't thinking about this racism stuff. Man, that stuff. We did our due diligence on that. Our party was founded by giving up blood and treasure, fighting against slavery in the 1860s, and fighting against blacks being a second-class citizens, being in the apartheid party or the Democrat Party. We were fighting that in the 1960s. We did our due diligence. So Republicans are like, man, I ain't thinking about that stuff anymore. So Democrats coming back with those accusations, and Republicans are like rusty on it. It's like, what? Wait, what? Huh? They don't know what to do. And like I said, I'm not faulting. It's like, because why? Why are we still talking about it? That's why Republicans why are we still talking about this? Why? And Democrats just come up with that same accusatory tactic all the time, constantly, over and over again. So, they got it to where, Joe Biden is, this, I guess, doddering idiot. I mean, and they're looking for, do you think the people are feeling the pain of this? Like I said, they were feeling the pain of that with Obama. And I told Republicans, this is what's going to happen. And because they would get excited, they're turning against Obama. They're seeing how bad it is. Y'all, the only thing that they're going to do is look for another face to push their policies. That's all. Just because they're getting tired of the person doesn't mean they got tired of their ideology. Okay, they just think that there is what happens with socialism, the natural chain to it. We just have to do it better. They didn't go far enough. They didn't do it right. This, that, and whichever. And they always think that they can do it better. You think these people have given up on their socialist ideas? No. They may give up on Joe Biden, because they don't think that and they don't understand that the more you try to twist this country into something that it isn't, you are going to feel pain. It's like hyperextending an extremity. You can't bend it a certain way, but that's what they keep trying to do. And they're wondering, why does this hurt so bad? Why don't you just bend the way that I want you to bend? That's liberals. That's what they do. right? And they don't understand that they are the ones who are the reasons why this hurts so much, trying to force us to be something that we're not. And trying to blame other people for doing things that they're the ones who did. Everything is backwards and imaginary and twisted and convoluted and perverted with them. And they're the culprits of their own pain and dragging us into it. I mean, so with Joe Biden, you want to get giddy because they're getting tired of Joe Biden? They hadn't got tired of their worldview. They're gonna be looking for somebody else to do it. And word on the street is the one they're looking to lead the charge in doing it is Liz Cheney. So now Democrats, you got to admit, number one, the election was stolen. Joe Biden wasn't even favored to be president. And Kamala Harris most certainly wasn't favored. She certainly wasn't. But here's where you Democrats, and I hope Republicans catch this. Democrats, you are an admission that you didn't want Kamala near the White House. Oh, you just hated Trump so bad that you just wanted anybody. You just went along with the cheat. All right. But the thing is, when y'all are asking for a so-called Republican like Liz Cheney, and y'all are looking for her to be president before you're even getting ready to back Kamala to take Biden's place, that's a full-on admission that y'all didn't want Kamala in the first place. You racist. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got going on, y'all. That's what we got going on. So this whole Civil War thing, y'all, we're in the middle. But you Republicans, you got to get ready to use a whole different kind of artillery. And you got to be prepared to put your support behind another kind of defense mechanism that's on the front lines. You know, been trying to tell y'all this culture, this Democrat, this left-leaning collectivist culture, everything about them is driven by imagination, and that don't mean that they can't be dangerous. And they'll be the ones. And they'll be the ones being able to effectively shoot people. And if you shoot back, you'll be the enemy, right? Basically, you'll get a taste of what it's like to be Israel and Palestine. That's what's coming. See, the Democrats, they've long played the victim narrative. And the sad part of it is that they've gotten Republicans to help them do it. That's the sad part of it, right? When you got a whole bunch of like this second Civil War, like I said before, Democrats they'll be able to do this. You got Republicans that don't realize that we're in a Civil War, but of course they don't, because they don't realize what the original Civil War was about. They've allowed Democrats to sucker them into thinking that the Civil War wasn't about slavery, while Democrats were enslaving people back then, and they're trying to enslave you now. But a lot of Republicans don't see that. All they see is Lincoln was some tyrant pushing Northern aggression. Northern aggression against who? Democrats. Think about it. It wasn't even about North and South. It was about Republicans against Democrats. Democrats wanted to keep slavery legal. The Republican Party was founded to end it. That's at the root of their platform. It's like at the top of it. And we're stopping slavery. Yeah, that's coming to a halt. And while you got Republicans today, the war wasn't about slavery. Right? So you got this going on. And I'm trying to tell you, no, don't let them use you for that. You got Democrats who are masters at victimization, manipulation. And they've got you saying, oh, Lincoln was just a Northern aggressor. The Democrats were victimizing people. They were using their so-called states' rights to intrude on somebody else's rights. And Lincoln says, you ain't doing that. And then Democrats would be like, oh, you're victimizing us. You're being aggressive against us. Isn't that the Democrats today? Don't y'all make the connection? I wish you guys would, because then you would see why Trump lost the White House. Democrats have, to this day, that is their main weapon. And it's unfortunate that they're able to depend even more on nationalistic, overly prideful Republicans, too blind to see what's going on, to help Democrats do what it is that they're doing. That's their number one weapon. And if a civil war breaks out, woe to us, because Democrats run everything. In war, you're going to need to be able to communicate. And Democrats run communications. How are we going to operate You know, I think it's too much of underestimating these people and underestimating God. Because you got a lot of these people out there, they got more fidelity and they got more affection for the Constitution and the flag than they do for Jehovah Nissi, God our banner. They got more faith in their guns than they do in God. That ain't gonna help you. Your guns need to be loaded up with the gospel, baby. But you got people out there, they think that it's gonna take the economy, it's gonna take jobs. You got a good economy, people gonna use that economy to learn how to screw things up more efficiently with. That's what happened, ain't it? So it ain't about having just a good economy. It ain't just about having good jobs. It ain't just about your guns. Hey, if you don't make the Lord the priority, the one who granted us our God-given rights in the first place. Oh yeah, we in trouble if in this civil war. The Civil War has already started, man. It's just getting revved up. But don't be kid. We're in it right now. Democrats have found other ways to exterminate people. Right? So they're not exactly, their worldview is stupid. Their worldview is stupid, but they're not exactly stupid. They're evil geniuses. They're like Wile E. Coyote, man. All right, straight up, they're Wile E. Coyote. Democrats and Republicans is basically, like, remember that cartoon, man, where he had that dog, the Wile E. Coyote, and they both clock in, and the job of Wile E. Coyote, his job, remember, y'all, Joe Biden is doing his job. He's Wile E. Coyote. He's doing his job. Unfortunately, where are our sheepdogs to get in there and stop him? Right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. What y'all waiting for a politician for? We supposed to be doing that. Us. Right? Government's not the answer to the problem, remember? We the people are supposed to be the solution. You know? So Joe Biden, Wile E. Coyote, he's clocked in and he's doing his job, because I can't stand when I hear Republicans talk. Joe Biden needs to do his job. No, you don't want him to do his job. Joe Biden's job is basically being he's hired by the Chinese. He's hired by the anti-Americans who live amongst us. That's who he was hired by. You don't want him to do his job. Republican, he needs to do his job. No, he doesn't. You need to do your job, and let's get him out of the White House. He shouldn't have been in there in the first place. So this is, you want to talk about a civil war. We in it. All right. Like I said, back to the Wile E. Coyote analogy. He in there stealing. He's stealing sheep. What the sleep dog doing? Still having lunch. Is the giant sleep dog still sleeping? You're awakening a sleeping giant. Why is like sleeping giant always sleeping? You got to wake sleeping giant again. All right. But that's what it's like, y'all. So we got to clock in. We got to handle business, and it's not just about, click, come and take it. You come after my gun, and they didn't already take. It's like this is almost like, this is almost what it's like for conservatives. Come on, and you come and get my guns. And Democrats be like tipping up behind them and like taking stuff. Let me get that. Huh? Let me get that. Let me get that. And before you know it, you got somebody out there standing out in the field butt naked, but he got his shotgun though. Come on, you suckers, you come and get it. And they ain't taking everything else. Come and take it. Oh man, driving me crazy. You Democrats, you ain't getting me. Let me get my drink for head right. That's better. You can get your head right too, man. You get on over to my website and you get these mugs and get the shirt and stuff like that. Make sure you guys share these videos, man. Drop a buck in the bucket to keep your bro Zoe on the go. I know I can't, man. I know I'm not just talking to this brick. I know I'm talking to somebody. Somebody know what I'm talking about. That's why you guys tune in. I don't know. But you guys are a blessed rare jewel, y'all who tune in, man. And it's you and me against the world, y'all. That's what it's about. And I'm so blessed that you guys tune in. It'd be great if other folks would tune in also, instead of just depending on these mainstream outlets, giving them all that red meat that they want, and making them spiritually and politically and culturally constipated. It's like you got to get off that, man, and get the real, understand the real approach. It's not just about being so much informed and well armed. You got to have a delivery system, man. You got to have that to be able to spread it in the culture, because it's just staying with you and it's just stagnating. We got to be able to promote it, right? And it can't just be about doing things like this. And it's like, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here lecturing. It's got to be more than that, y'all. It takes more than that. You got to look at what the children of the age are doing and all the things that they're in. We got to run interference, right? And we're not doing that. So, like I said, I want to be able to develop, my production company and, get out there and creatively compete against these people, because that's what they did. That's what they did to sucker the masses. And that's what they're still doing. And they got a wide open field to do it, y'all. A wide open field to do it. And they need it. And a challenge needs to meet them on the fields, right? There needs to be more of us doing that. And there needs to be the support for that. All right, there needs to be the support for that. So like I said, I hope you guys will, drop that buck in the bucket to help keep your bros on the go. I hope you guys will visit my my Give Send Go page, and just even, man, it's prayers, right? There's a pray button. It says pray button. Pray. Let folks know that you are praying for Bronze Serpent Media to be fruitful and effective for the Lord's glory, right? And of course, those for y'all who are supporting with your financial contributions at bronzeserpentmedia.com, whether it be through PayPal, Cornerstone. Cornerstone is a Christian money transfer operation. So I hope you guys will check them out. Financial systems there. Got Patreon. Make use of that Patreon. That way you can give me a dollar every time I upload a video. Just give me $1. I'll be happy. Right? I don't turn my nose up. And people be like, man, I'm sorry I couldn't do that. Don't you be sorry. Right? Don't be sorry, man. It's like, I am so thankful if you guys even drop in $1. I'm stoked, right? I am happy. So, just do it. There's a lot of people out there with some deep pockets ain't gonna give me nothing. Right? But y'all, it's like the Lord says, hey, these people, they just gave out of their surplus. This woman gave half of what she got, man. I'm impressed, right? I'm impressed. So, I ain't gonna complain. I ain't gonna be mad. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys will share these videos, as I said before. I ain't gonna say it again. If you want to hear me say the whole share thing, just rewind it. You lazy, so I am not. All right. Where's that dang cutoff button before I start rambling some more? Bye.